Okay, how's it going, everybody? So we're going to get back into this. What we were just reading, we already read section 1 of this. I'm going to read section 2. This is this section is called "The Problem of the Class Battles of the Proletariat," and then the right danger in the German Communist Party is what the whole speech is called, delivered in 1928. Let's go ahead and get into this. 2. The problem of the class battles of the proletariat. Just as erroneous is Humbert Josef's opinion of the class battles of the proletariat in the capitalist countries, of their character and significance, it follows from Humbert Joseph's speech at the meeting of the political secretariat that the struggle of the working class, its spontaneous clashes with the capitalists, are in the main only of a defensive character, and that the leadership of this struggle on the part of the Communist Party should be carried out only within the framework of the existing reformist trade unions. Is that right? No, it is wrong. To assert that means to drag in the wake of events, Humbert Joseph forgets that the struggle of the working class is now taking place on the basis of a stabilization that is becoming shaken. That the battles of the working class not infrequently bear the character of counter-battles of a counter-offensive and a direct offensive against the capitalists. Humbert Joseph fails to see anything new in the battles of the working class. In the recent period, he fails to see such things as the Lodz General Strike, the economic strikes for better conditions of labor in France, Czechoslovakia, and Germany, the mighty mobilization of the proletarian forces in Germany, and the fights against the lockout of the metal workers, and so on and so forth. What do these and similar facts show? What do they indicate? That deep within capitalist countries, the preconditions for a new revolutionary upsurge of the working class movement are ripening. And that is the new element which Humbert Joseph and Serra fail to see, fail to observe, which never will be observed at all by comrades who have become accustomed to looking backward instead of forward. And what does looking backward instead of forward mean? It means dragging in the wake of events, failing to see what is new in developments, and being caught by surprise. It means renouncing the leading role of the Communist parties in the working class movement. That was precisely what caused the German Communist Party leadership to come to grief in the 1923 revolution. Consequently, he who does not want to repeat the mistakes of 1923 must rouse the minds of the communists and urge them onward, must prepare the masses for the coming battles, must take every measure to ensure that the communist parties are not left behind in the wake of events, and that the working class is not caught by surprise. It is extremely strange that the Humbert Joseph and Serra forget these things. At the time of the Ruhr battles, the German communists noted the fact that the unorganized workers proved to be more revolutionary than the organized workers. Humbert Joseph is outraged by this and declares that it could not have been so. Strange. Why could it not have been so? There are about 1 million workers on the Ruhr. Of them, about 200,000 are organized in trade unions. The trade unions are directed by reformist bureaucrats who are connected in all manner of ways with the capitalist class. Why is it surprising, then, that the unorganized workers proved to be more revolutionary than the organized? Could it indeed have been otherwise? I might tell you of even more surprising facts from the history of the revolutionary movement in Russia. With us, it happened not infrequently that the masses proved to be more revolutionary than some of their communist leaders. That is well known to all the Russian Bolsheviks. It was this that Lenin had in mind when he said that we must not only teach the masses, but also learn from the masses. What is surprising is not these facts, but that Humbert Joseph does not understand such simple things taken from the sphere of practical revolutionary experience. The same must be said of Serra. He does not approve of the fact that German communists in their struggle to organize the locked-out metal workers went beyond the framework of the existing trade unions and shook this framework. He regards this as an infringement of the resolutions of the Fourth Congress of the Proletariat. He claims that the Proletariat called upon communists to work only within the trade unions. That is nonsense, comrades. The Proletariat did not call for anything of the kind. To say that it is to condemn the Communist Party to the role of a passive observer of the class battles of the proletariat. To say that is to bury the idea of the leading role of the Communist Party in the working class movement. The merit of the German communists is precisely that they did not allow themselves to be scared by talk about, quote, the framework of the trade unions, end quote, and went beyond this framework by organizing the struggle of the non-organized workers against the will of the trade union bureaucrats. The merit of the German communists is precisely that they sought for and found new forms of struggle and organization of the unorganized workers. It is possible that in doing so they committed a number of trifling errors, but no new undertaking is ever free from errors. From the fact that we must work within the reformist trade unions, provided only that they are mass organizations, it does not at all follow that we must confine our mass work to work within the reformist trade unions, that we must become slaves of the standards and demands of those unions. If the reformist leadership is identifying itself with capitalism, see the resolutions of the 6th Congress of the Comintern and the 4th Congress of the Profintern. While the working class is waging a struggle against capitalism, can it be affirmed that the struggle of the working class, led by the Communist Party, can avoid breaking to some extent the existing reformist framework of the trade unions? Obviously, this cannot be affirmed without landing into opportunism. Therefore, a situation is quite conceivable in which it may be necessary to create parallel mass associations of the working class against the will of the trade union